everyone, I hope you're all well. Today I'm going to do another weird funny stories I wrote as a kid. Because as a kid I really wanted to be an author, and my favourite author, Jacqueline Wilson, said that if you want to be an author, you need to write and just let your imagination go wild. So with that in mind, I set up a yellow folder to keep all my author ideas in. And some of them are very entertaining and very cringy. So today again, I'm going to have a look through this folder. I've not looked at anything else in great detail, so when I'm reading it to you, it will be the first time that I'm reading it in about 10 years as well. So this should be very interesting and I hope you enjoy. I've just had a look through my yellow folder and I've picked out a few stories that I'm going to read today, but I just wanted to point out as well that I just saw a story in there that is 27 pages long. 27. So I'll maybe leave that for another video because as you can imagine, it's going to be quite long, it's going to be quite in-depth, but I've picked out 3 shorter stories that I'm going to share with you today, and the first one is called Time Machine, and apparently I wrote this on the 20th and the 21st of February 2004, so it's been a while. I don't think I've ever read this after writing it again, and I also drew some pictures at the bottom there of some of the characters. So there we are, and those are some interesting fashions. Time is running out! I need answers before it's too late, Louise dramatically announced. Maybe you shouldn't leave your homework till last minute then, Sissy pointed out. There's 6 of us. Kelly, Ashley, Sam, Louise, Sissy and me. Kelly's the leader of our gang. Well, she's the leader of nearly everything we do. What she says goes, and when she said she was the leader of the Candy Club, she was the leader. She could rule the world. I like that logic there, like if you think it, you can do it. Louise wants to be an actress. Need I say more? Sissy is the smartest. She knows the answer to nearly every equation. She wants to be a marine biologist or maybe an astronaut. That's like 2 totally opposite things, like one goes right down into the water and the other goes up. Wouldn't it be amazing to be so close to the stars and planets, she said dreamily the other day. If you say so. Ashley isn't as bright when it comes to schoolwork. She is when it comes to fashion. No prizes for guessing what she wants to be. The next Naomi Campbell, she said. Sam and me are the tomboys of the group. Premier League baseball stars, that's us. A peculiar mix of people, but all the best of friends. Yeah, that's certainly a mixture of people that I found there. We're at school, it's lunchtime and the next period is English. As always, Louise hasn't done her homework and has asked Sissy what she's put. You can do that work perfectly well yourself, said Sissy. I wrote about the weekend before last. It was easy. All I did was eat, sleep and watch the World Cup, Sam suggested. You've got to admit, Sissy, the work's kind of hard. Writing about something we didn't do. Cut me some slack, Louise admitted. Oh, okay then, but if Miss Robertson finds out... She won't, we all say. Oh, all right. What is it you're stuck on, Sissy asked. The teacher would never believe what we really did at the weekend. Too far-fetched. OTT. In fact, she'd probably give us another sheet of paper and tell us to tell the truth. You still want to hear this bizarre story? Well, if you insist. It was Friday afternoon. We were walking back from school, talking about plans for going to the park. I need to do my homework, Sissy said. It's in next Tuesday. Oh, come on, sis, Louise whined. It can wait. I've got better things to do, Sam moaned. Fashion eyes on the telly, Ashley groaned. Kelly got angry. I'm the leader and I say we go. And that's the end of the story. I've spent so long talking about all the characters that we'll never find out why it's called Time Machine. This next story is called Shocking Stories of Our World, and I've wrote it like a newspaper article, and my favourite detail here is the little stamps down the side of like mobile phones and flowers. Yeah. Okay, so this one is Shocking Stories of Our World, Smoking Almost Killed Me by Matt Brown. Now, if you listen to my last video, there was a story with Flower and Willow, and I basically demonstrated that I know nothing about asthma, so this could be interesting. How did smoking almost kill Matt Brown? Let's find out. When I was 15, everyone thought it was cool to smoke because we were underage. I'd never tried it before because I knew of a man who died of lung cancer, which was caused by his heavy smoking. We were playing Truth or Dare and I accidentally told them I'd never touched a cigarette or drank alcohol. One of the boys, Frank, laughed. He said, "Well, now it's time to start." He dared me to drink a whole pint of Guinness and smoke a whole pack of cigarettes. I drank the beer no problems. I thought I'd got away when everyone cheered like mad because he drank one pint of Guinness. Okay. But they hadn't forgotten. They passed me the cigarettes. I noticed the words on the side, "Smoking kills." I couldn't believe I was about to put myself in hospital. I have really bad asthma. Not asthma again, Kate. We've established you know nothing about asthma. I have really bad asthma, and one puff of the cigarette and I had an attack. I left my inhaler at home so it wouldn't spoil my night. Those inhalers, they really put a dampener on any night. Whoever goes out and says, "Well, it was a great night, but Matt took his inhaler with him, so it wasn't that great." I left my inhaler at home so it wouldn't spoil my night. It was a lifesaver I didn't have. Luckily, I got to hospital on time and made a full recovery. I don't hang about with Frank now. He nearly killed me. I really am lucky to be alive. I think maybe once I'd made the newspaper columns up, I realised that I really didn't have much room to tell this story. I really hope I had more in mind for that story than just that, because that was pretty underwhelming. So hopefully this last story's good. It's called Puppy Love, and I seem to be simplifying fractions down the margins of this one, so I'm wondering if I was writing this somewhere where I shouldn't have been, like maths or somewhere. "Where are we?" a desperate voice asked. "Is that you, Scamp? Listen, I can hear someone coming. Yelp as loud as you can," another voice instructed. As 7 pups barked like mad at another car on the cold, hard country road, Muffin, the 8th, sat in the corner of the roomy, damp cardboard box. While all the other puppies had been asleep, the chocolate-coloured Labrador had been wide awake. Molly's mum and Molly had been over the moon when Muffin's mum and dad, Minstrel and Sooty, gave birth to 8 healthy puppies. Molly's father, though, knew they couldn't afford to keep 10 dogs. Muffin was sure he was a nice person really, but knew it wasn't possible to have so many yelping bundles of fur. Yeah, he's a nice person really, but this is very clear animal abuse. Molly, at 7 years old, didn't realise that pets needed more than a cuddle. Her dad said 2 dogs was the limit, so Minstrel, her brown Labrador, and Sooty, a black Labrador, were the only pets in the Marshalls' household. When the puppies were born, 4 of them, Domino, Nemi, Suki and Brownie, were black. 3 of them, Scamp, Lucky and Sweep, were black and brown. And Muffin, like her mum, was the only fully brown pup of the litter. Minstrel, though she didn't want to admit it, felt quite attached to Muffin because of that, and out of the lot she was her favourite. She was glad that one of the puppies followed in her footsteps. Now, like the rest, Muffin was gone. Though only a day old, Muffin was the wisest of the litter. He remembered Mr. Marshall scooping them all up carefully and successfully dumping them in the box in the middle of nowhere. All poor Muffin could think of now was his married mum and dad. This is starting to sound like the Aristocats. When Molly woke up in the morning, she ran down to her carefully made puppy basket. Not one of the pups was there. She looked all round the house, but there wasn't even a yelp from Noisy Little Patch. "Dad!" she cried, really upset, for these puppies weren't even a week old. Lots of really bad things could happen. Mr. Marshall came down to see his daughter weeping gently. Molly, we talked about... How could you? You said you'd sell them, not take them away when they're 17 hours old. I didn't even get to say goodbye, his hurt daughter sobbed. Look, Molly, I didn't want you to get too attached to them. I did this for the best. Oh, Dad, you should have taken them to an animal sanctuary, not the side of Hillsborough Peak. Okay, so the daughter knows where the puppies are. I'm sorry, Molly, but... He got cut off as his daughter ran upstairs too upset to speak. Meanwhile, Muffin felt he should no longer sit and pine in this damp cardboard. That's it, Muffin cried to the pups. There's no use sitting waiting for someone to find us. We must find them. Suki wasn't happy though. I object, his silky black sister protested. It's all very well you having a brown coat, but our paws are going to get muddy. It won't show up on you. The pups barked in agreement. Oh, shut up, sis. We look a mess anyway, said Domino. Would you rather have a clean coat or get home? Well, said Nemi, I guess we can get a bath when we get home, Suki. But Suki was determined. Mud is dirt. Why do you think we were given up in the first place? They didn't want a bunch of dirty pups. Some pups started crying at this remark. How could Suki say that? Well, you stay behind if you really feel that way, said Domino, sniffing back tears. But you'll be all alone. Not even Nemi stayed to keep her sis company. They each scrambled out to go home. Meanwhile, Molly's dad decided he needed those pups back. Molly's mum, Molly and himself climbed in the car. He drove them to an empty box. Nothing there except for a pining Suki. It's Suki, Molly cried. The pup licked her face. 1 down, 7 to go. And that's the end of the story. So it seems I was very good with coming up with the premise, but I didn't really go any further. If you want to know what happens next, I suggest you watch The Aristocats by Disney and imagine dogs instead of cats. And maybe it would be something like that. So those are my 3 stories for today. Hopefully the 27-page long one is going to be better because I'm really looking forward to that one. I'm going to save that one for its own little video. And yes, those are my stories for today. And it seems I'm much better at developing characters in that one, but developing stories maybe not so much. But if you have any stories you want to tell me about down below, do let me know. If you have any comments you want to leave, again, just let me know. And thank you so much for watching, everybody. Cheerio. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. I know who I want to take me home. Take me home. Closing time. Every new beginning comes from some other beginning.